Hi, welcome to another edition of CITV. In this week's episode, we'll watch the footings poured for the townhomes and the concrete blocks laid to form the stem wall. Alan Parrots will be giving you the commentary of what is going on as we watch the process unfold, and yours truly will be asking insane, stupid questions. As usual, please do not forget to press the subscription button and the notification bell below, which will let you know when we post a brand new episode. You can also press the like button if you feel so disposed. So, let's get down to the site. Last episode, we were mapping the form boards to pour concrete for the footings. All the form boards are now laid with rebar to give the concrete strength. Vertical rebar rods, as you can see, are in place. These get tied together, a form box made around them, which then gets filled with concrete to form columns. But more about this in future episodes. There's something about the distinct smell of cement. It's like really nice. I don't know what it is.
You got a good sense of smell.
Well, let me ask you a question. What's the difference between cement and concrete, or is there anything?
There is a difference. You might be getting a little too technical for me, but concrete has the additional aggregate in it. The rocks that you see that they're digging up right now. And there's, right, of course, different PSIs and.
You lost me at different. So, we saw the first pour just now, which was very, very exciting in the right-hand corner here. What are these rods that got an orange tops on?
So that's the rebar that attaches your upcoming columns to the footings themselves, so it becomes one monolithic building.
Right. So what happens is, the next floor will attach to those rods.
That's correct. So that'll
you put more rods on the second one, and it's like a.
Correct. So it all becomes one.
It's like a giant Meccano. Do you have Meccano here in America?
I don't know.
Lego. You have Lego, don't you?
Lego. Yeah.
Poor relation to Meccano. If you're English, you know what I mean. And then, of course, I've seen this ballet of cement trucks, concrete trucks, turn up here. So how many trucks are we going to get, do you reckon, turning up today?
We'll have about 10 trucks coming in and out today. And then we'll have this pump truck here all day, moving it all around the site.
Yeah. I mean, how long does it take to put these blocks in?
This will be about 5 hours of pouring, and then as you can see, they're doing some of the finish work to smooth it all out.
Sure. So, just so that everyone understands that's watching us here, you've poured concrete into these forms. And then there's like sort of dirt outside these forms. Mm-hmm. Just explain the correlation, how it works, and the sort of just the building process for the floor.
Okay. So this is a stem wall structure. So what we have here is we're pouring the footings right now. The next step is going to be the stem wall, which is a series of CMU courses of block.
You better say what CMU, because some people here don't know what CMU is.
It's masonry block.
Right. Okay.
It's block.
Yeah.
So it's the cylinder block that'll be stacked to create a stem wall, which the future slab will sit on.
Right.
So that'll be 2 to 4 courses depending on where it is here on the site.
So are these like the exterior walls almost?
No, so you won't see these walls.
Right, okay.
So the stem wall is prior to the walls that you're going to see. Right. So it's part of the foundation.
Right. So this is like below ground, this is like below ground level.
So it's below ground, and it's part of the foundation system that the slab will sit on top of. Once we pour that slab, we're out of foundations and we start getting into superstructure. And that's where you start to see the blocks themselves, the CMU block, as the perimeter wall that you visually see.
So all the sort of plumbing and the wiring obviously is going to go on top of the subflooring.
No, so there's going to be, once we get the stem walls in and prior to pouring the slab, we'll have our electrician and our plumber come in to run all their underground work. So that's going to be where we have our islands in the kitchen.
Yeah.
We have to run the power and water to those locations. Our ground floor bathrooms where we have toilets, we have to run that prior to the pour. So we'll be having them come in the next few weeks to do their underground. Prior to them coming in, we're going to be taking a lot of this dirt and leveling out the site a bit more and backfilling the inside of the slab up to the stem wall. So this dirt will start to go away in the next few weeks.
And it'll all be cement?
It'll all be cement.
Okay. And I saw that Nothing Engineers...
Concrete.
Tomato. I saw Nothing Engineers are out there.
Yeah, so just like we have building inspections with the city. So prior to this pour, there's a few things that needed to occur in order for us to have this pour. We had to do a form board survey. So we called out the surveyor to come out and verify the elevation of all these footings before we go too far along to make sure it's all in the right place and the right elevation. That gets submitted to the city. Also, before we can do this pour, we have to do termite treatment in the footings. So we get a company come out to spray the footings, then we put the vapor barrier down. That certification also needs to be submitted to the city. Once we submit that, the city will come out and they inspect all the rebar to make sure that it's conforming with the plans. So we passed that with no issues first go around. So that allows us to schedule the pour and actually make this happen. So now we have Nutting Engineers here, which is a third-party inspector that is going to test the concrete that is being poured here.
Because they did all the core samples first for us when we first bought the land. And then subsequently they've done all the other core samples.
So they do a variety of things when it comes to special inspections and geotechnical reporting. So they did all the geotechnical borings and report in order to understand what structure needs to be built here and how to build the structure here. But they also do other things such as structural inspections, concrete testing. So we'll be calling them out at every single concrete pour to test the concrete and ensure that it's up to the quality that's required for the project.
Right.
Otherwise, it has to be ripped out.
So obviously I can't stay here for 3 or 4 hours and watch all the concrete being poured. You said it's going to take about 3 or 4 hours to finish and probably 6 hours really to set and everything else and just...
Yeah, in 24 hours, we'll start stripping the formwork.
Right.
But it takes 28 days for concrete to fully cure.
Right.
Within the first week, you see a major increase in the curing process, and then it's a very slow cure from there. But technically, it takes roughly 28 days.
When you say the curing process, are you talking about expansion? Or are you talking
just
about
the
shrinkage?
strength.
The strength,
The
right.
strength of the concrete.
Like, is that tensile strength? Is that the kind of terminology, or am
I don't know. If
just
that's
plucking at a fancy word that I thought I...
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sure, Tony.
Hey, tensile strength.
But they take these concrete core samples back to their their site, and they crush the concrete and they test it at varying points along the 28-day period, and they'll show us 7 days, this is what it's cured to, the PSI of the concrete, and then where it goes to after 28 days, and you have to pass those
right
in order to say the concrete was good. It was a good batch of concrete.
You working the weekend, by the way, Saturday and Sunday, or just Saturday, or you're missing the weekend?
Yeah, so we usually get we'll have some guys here stripping forms tomorrow, more than likely, but we usually don't get that until the end of the day on Friday.
No, the only reason I say that is we're going to come back here tomorrow and fly a drone to see what it looks like afterwards.
I'm not sure if the guys are going to be here stripping the forms tomorrow or if they're going to come on Monday just yet.
Yeah, sure. No, I understand that.
But Florida tends to be a 6-day-a-week.
And I was standing in there, and as you can see, it's not exactly the brightest day out, thank God, because last time I was here, I thought I was going to be carried out of here, not walk out of here. And so what if it rains in this process? Is that a problem?
Yeah, so you're typically not supposed to, if
it started raining now, what do you do?
It wouldn't be an issue. I mean, the water is basically just going to rise up to the top of the concrete.
Yeah.
You just don't want to be pouring in the rain for an extended period of time.
No, I hear that.
But it'll be fine if we get a, your typical shower of 20, 30 minutes some point during the day. The concrete will be fine.
So, because I'm showing the guys that are viewing the whole process, I hope to show the whole process from this to the finished product. It's been kind of fun. What's the next visual thing that's going to be a major difference to this? I know we're going to pour some more concrete, but what's the next event after this?
The coolest part is gonna be once you see this as all concrete, which is a few weeks away. Like I said, we have to do our stem wall inspection, stem wall pour, and then the concrete slab. So it'll be really cool once you see the slab down, because a lot of this dirt will be gone.
The slab is poured or it's dropped?
It's poured.
Right, okay.
The slab would be poured. And then from there, you'll start to see us going vertical with the formwork of the concrete columns and all of the block perimeter walls. So that'll all tie together.
And so, I mean, not to jump too far ahead, once you've got the concrete columns in, then you can start thinking about the hollow core, right?
Yes. So the columns will tie into a tie beam around the perimeter of the building with ledges for the hollow core to sit on. So the hollow core is not fabricated here on site. It's fabricated off site, and then planks will be delivered to the site. We'll have trucks delivering it with a crane next to it, dropping the planks in place.
So it's like Lego.
That's like Lego or Macron or
no. That's I forget what I said actually. What I said what the English version of that was Meccano. That was
Meccano.
It. I don't even know if they're still in business. I think they must be. I'm sure someone will let me know. So okay, look, this is great. Got here really early, 6:45. I'd like to tell you that I crashed my drone twice, which is not good news, but it still seems to be in perfect working order. And I managed to get all the good bits, as you'll see as you're looking at this video. So a couple of weeks now, come back, see another pour, see it go a little bit, the infill.
We'll come back we'll come back in a couple weeks. The stem wall, I don't know precisely what day, but next week we'll start going up, so you see some courses of block going on.
Well, let me know and I'll come down and I'll we'll video it. All right, lovely. Have a good weekend, man.
Thank you. Have a good
Not
weekend.
so sweaty today.
Yeah, not so
dry
sweaty.
handshake.
Very dry. It's strange. My body's not.
But Joe came over and he gave me one of those. He gave me a water. Then he said to me, "No, have something that this one's got probiotics, electrolytes.
Yeah.
Okay, this pink thing." And I've got to tell you, I feel like a world champion right now. Catch you later.
Take care. Thank you.
So most, if not all, the form boards have been removed, and the footings are fully evident with the vertical rebar sticking out that will eventually, as we said earlier, form the concrete columns that will help strengthen the entire structure as more floors are added. By the way, as I was asked in one of the comments, the round and square caps on top of the vertical rebar are just for safety and do not denote anything. Here the CMU, otherwise known as concrete masonry unit blocks, have been delivered to the site, ready for the stonemasons to erect the stem wall, which will form part of the structure's foundation. You will learn more about this in later episodes.
So not much is going on here today. We had some coordination that we were working through, getting the surveyor out to pin the corners of the stem wall, which is the outside corner of the stem wall, the outline of the building. So that just got done, and we had a crane here yesterday to put all the block in its place, because as you can see, this whole entire site is just covered with mounds of dirt. So we had to get a crane in to drop the block into various locations. So tomorrow we're going to have the masons out here starting to build this stem wall. Once that's done, we'll be able to move all this dirt back in and backfill the stem wall and put dirt back into the area where the slab will be. So we're hoping that by the end of next week, we'll have this all rough graded and the stem walls backfilled, so we can get the plumber and the electrician in to start doing their undergrounds.
How long is it going to take to put the block in?
So the block will just be a couple days, and then we're going to have to do the all the rebar work for the stem wall beam that the slab will tie into. So by the end of next week, that should all be done, roughly by the end of next week. So about a week and a half total before we can get these other contractors in, start doing the undergrounds.
What is I mean, it's hard to envisage. I mean, you can give me a number, but what I mean, the elevation is going to be, the first floor elevation is going to come to about where, if we look around here, I mean, where do you see it? So that our viewers can have an idea of how high it's going to go.
Ballpark around here.
Right.
A couple courses a block.
Right. And as you said, that's going to all start tomorrow anyway, so.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's certainly coming along. I think it looked a lot different also when we put the dirt back in.
We need to get the dirt back in. It's taking up too much space.
Yeah.
So yeah, once we get that back all backfilled, it'll be a much cleaner site.
And so tomorrow, who's coming on site?
The masons.
Right, the masons are coming on site, so they're going to put all this block up, put the stem wheel.
Correct.
And the stem will also go across, butt up against all of this, I take it, yeah?
Yeah, it'll butt up against it. And then this will all be formed out with wood to be poured in concrete.
Yeah, so that's right, yeah. So they become the concrete filled columns that we've been talking about. Yeah,
Correct.
no, that's fine. Okay, well, great. Well, I look forward to tomorrow. When are we going to put the slab in, do you think?
We're a few weeks out from that. We're going to have probably about 2 weeks of underground work with the MEP trades, the electrician and the plumber. And they'll start, like I said, in about a week and a half to 2 weeks. They'll have a couple weeks of work, and then we'll compact the backfilled dirt, and we'll be prepping for slab.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll be back here tomorrow to look at the masons at work. And yeah, that's it. Well, I look forward. So, what are all these red marks?
So the red chalk line is the outside perimeter of the site wall. So the surveyor came out and pinned all the corners.
When you say pin on the corners, what do you mean by pin all the corners?
They surveyed the points.
Right here.
Right here, like this pin.
Yeah.
You see a pin over there.
Yeah.
And they lay out the outside perimeter of the stem.
All right, so this is what and they're spraying this now.
Correct. And then you have the 2C, 1C, 2 course, 1 course
Right.
block.
And what is 2C, 1C? I know what it is, but explain to everyone back home.
Course.
Yeah.
Layers
Yeah.
of block. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Layers of block.
Yeah, no, I understand. So I just saw your guy come around spraying up all these markers of that. So the masons here.
Yeah, it gives the workers direction on what to do. So it's just preliminary planning, so they're not out here working without any direction.
Okay, all right. And he monitors that all day, yeah?
Yep.
Well, that's all for this episode. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and hopefully you found it so interesting that you want to tell your friends, family, and business colleagues about it. In the next episode, we will finish the stem walls and show you how all the ground electrical and plumbing is roughed in, and then we should be ready to pour the concrete slab. Please press the subscribe and notification bell below, hit the like button, and leave any comments for us also below. See you next time.